Okay, so I'm going to talk about competency 5, but I really want to focus on the importance of creating a positive classroom environment, setting student expectations and teacher expectations, specifically in what the teacher expects from the student, and the importance of giving praise for achievement and good work. And so, first of all, creating a classroom environment that is positive is so important because this starts off with having a good relationship with the teacher, and ends up with the student having motivation to learn and knowing that the teacher cares about the student and that they achieve their goals. So when a student feels like they are recognized and that they have somebody that believes in them, this is automatically going to have students want to learn and want to thrive, and it just helps students feel like somebody believes in them. So it helps create a positive classroom environment, not one that is negative and students feel like they're scared to speak up because they don't know something, or scared to make mistakes because they believe mistakes aren't positive, which they can be. They can lead to students learning from them and progressing. And one really important thing is for teachers to set expectations for their students. And so expectations should always be attainable. And so we should never go for perfection or make goals for students that they just cannot possibly achieve. This is really important because when goals are set and they're attainable, students feel confident when they achieve those goals and they have the motivation to continue learning. So this is super important, and this can be helped by having scaffolding, teacher assistant, maybe different examples. And so it's just all about the teacher making an effort to help guide these students to attain a goal. And one really important thing is students love when they see that they have mastered a goal. So maybe having students like do an assignment where they can visibly see, like, I have totally got this down, just helps remind students that they are capable of achieving a goal and they are capable of setting expectations and meeting them, and just helps them feel like they are seen and that they are doing really good. So that's really important. Another thing that's important is setting the teacher expectations, but now like nurturing the students. And this looks very different from various grade levels and age groups. So middle school, elementary, middle school, and high school will have different views of nurturing. So maybe for like the smaller children, they want to be nurtured, like hugged and known that they are loved, and know that they are in a safe environment, and just constantly having this reassurance. Well, maybe higher grades just want to know that they are cared about and that they are seen and recognized for their work and their achievement. But overall, just making sure that you're nurturing those students is very important because it creates a positive environment and a positive identity. So you just want to make sure you build the students up and just nurture them. So moving on, I want to talk about praise. Praise is so important because it gives students motivation, lets them know that what they are doing is correct. It's very important for students to know that they are cared about and that teachers are concerned about how they are doing and how they are excelling. Give praise where praise is earned. So make sure that you are very specific on what you're praising students for, because you want them to know exactly what they are doing right. And so hopefully when they get that positive praise, they continue to do it in that correct manner. So be specific on what you're praising, and make sure that when you're praising, you are not directly commenting on the student's character, but you're more likely praising for the action that the student is making. So maybe instead of saying, oh, you're such a good student because you got that answer correctly, you could say something like, oh, you're working really hard on that word problem, and you got this correctly and you did this right, good job. So just make sure that you aren't saying like you're a good student, or this makes you such a good student. Just make sure you're praising them for what they did specifically. Um, and make sure overall that students know that learning is trial and error, and that you're not expecting students to be perfect, and students will make mistakes and they will be confused and they will need help, but just letting students know that that is okay, that we are not expecting perfection from them as teachers. And this just goes along to wrap everything up. So it's really important to note that perfection is not necessary. Just make sure that students are meeting goals and that they're progressing. Like, that's what we're looking for. And so this kind of ties into Maslow's hierarchy of needs, all three categories. So positive classroom climate can tie into having students, especially esteem. So here's the little example of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So esteem is kind of self-esteem, confidence, respect of others, respect by others. So when students are have a positive classroom climate, their self-esteem can go up. They feel like they feel like they are loved and that they belong in the classroom. So, and they feel like they are safe. And I believe all three of these, so teacher expectations, go with this as well: safety, love, belonging, and esteem. And so does praise. And all of these kind of work up to the end goal of self-actualization. So we want to build that self-confidence, creativity, problem solving. So just having all of what we learned about is going to help students build up to self-actualization. So that's how it kind of ties into Maslow's. And I think that this psychological need isn't directly tied into a positive classroom climate, teacher expectations, or giving students praise, but they must have this in order to meet all these needs. So yes, so that's how that ties into Maslow's. So that's kind of an overview of Competency 5. So